divorced, and blossomed. How has Princess Diana changed since splitting up with Charles? Camilla couldn't have dreamed of that. Princess Diana has not infrequently been called a style icon. Even now many refer to her looks, and even make references to them. However, she started wearing all of these outfits after she dissolved her marriage to Prince Charles. Of course, the whole point was that she no longer had to follow the rigid royal dress code. Everyone knew at once that Diana's taste was fine. The same could not be said for his next sweetheart, who is still trying to be a lot like Diana. How has Diana changed since her divorce? Princess Diana is one of the few who, without any stretch, can be called a style icon. There's no exaggeration in her case. She has impeccably styled and been an inspiration to millions of women around the world. This makes tracing her style history incredibly interesting, especially as it has its share of ups and downs and dramatic before and after changes. One of these transformations is about to take place. Here's a look at how Princess Diana's style has changed since her divorce from Prince Charles. Divorce is never easy for a woman, especially when it happens in front of hundreds of millions of people around the world and accompanied by public scandals and high-profile tabloid headlines. Lady Di has had a particularly tough time in this regard. And of course, this couldn't help but have an impact on the woman's whole way of life. The style of the Princess of Wales has changed dramatically since her divorce in 1996. And it's not just the personal trauma she has suffered. Since the divorce, Diana was no longer a current member of the royal family, which meant she was no longer constrained by strict royal protocol, which required her to wear a strictly defined set of clothes. Everything from the tightness of tights to the length of skirts was subject to regulation at the Queen's court. So during her marriage to Charles, Diana was usually quite modest, not wearing short skirts and high heels, not allowing herself too tight dresses or plunging necklines. Although she often found ways to experiment even within such tight confines, such as wearing a necklace as a tiara, or rethinking old dresses, the only real freedom she gained was when she lost the official title, Her Royal Highness. The turning point, both in her marriage and in Diana's style, came in 1994. It was when Prince Charles confessed to the press that he was having an affair with Camilla Parker Bowles, and Lady Di decided to avenge him beautifully. That's when she openly broke royal protocol for the first time by wearing the famous revenge dress. Christina Stambolian's little black dress with a dropped shoulder line and plunging neckline was so memorable to the public that it marked the beginning of a galaxy of famous women who took revenge on their unfaithful lovers in stunning outfits. Since then, she has been unstoppable. She has met the official breakup with the royal family as a style icon on a planetary scale. The good girl has gone, replaced by a strong, confident woman who is unashamedly beautiful and sexy. Since then, she began to make a bright and showy output, each of which instantly scattered across the pages of the tabloids and picked apart by fashion critics. It was after the divorce Lady Di learned the art of wearing high heels and fell in love with the seductive tight dresses that are not hid her admirable and enviable figure. She also befriended Gianni Versace and wore his clothes extensively. Their alliance of muse and designer was one of the most memorable in the history of fashion. All noted that she began to look unusually relaxed and free. It was obvious that the stiff dress code of the royal court had always been a burden for her. Then for evening outings Lady Diana began to choose dresses with deep necklines, and invented a famous trick with miniature handbags to cover the neckline as she climbed out of the car. Her famous style could probably have evolved even more interestingly over the years. But this was not to be. On the 31st of August 1997, the Princess of Wales was tragically killed in a car crash in Paris. The whole world went into mourning for the Queen of Hearts. People around the globe genuinely adored her for her beauty, kind heart and ability to sympathize with those in need. Although she has been gone for 23 years, her memory lives on. And her bold fashion looks are still going strong, especially now, at the height of 90s fashion. So you can honor Lady Di's memory with one of her famous style tricks, such as a belted jacket.